1968 was a time in which the entire planet was feeling the reverberations of a new spirit.
The story of La Raza Unida is not just about the founding of a political party. It is a story of Mexican Americans fighting for their right to be seen, heard, and represented in the United States political landscape. Formed out of frustration with systemic discrimination and exclusion, La Raza Unida represented a bold, unapologetic assertion of Mexican American identity, power, and self-determination. Through grassroots organizing, electoral victories, and committed to social justice, the party ignited a revolution in the way Mexican Americans viewed their place in American politics, laying the groundwork for future generations to demand their rightful seat at the table.
La Raza Unida, which translated to the United Race, was founded by Jose Angel Gutierrez and Cesar Chavez on January 17, 1970, in response to the deep frustration felt by Mexican Americans who were experiencing systemic discrimination and a lack of political representation. At its core, La Raza Unida was more than just a political party. It was a movement born out of the civil rights struggles of the 1960s that sought to empower Mexican Americans in the face of institutionalized racism and exclusion. Throughout the 1960s, Mexican Americans faced severe discrimination. Whether in schools, in the workplace, or local government, they lived in communities that were growing rapidly in size, but remained politically powerless. South Texas, in particular, was a region where Mexican Americans held little or no power in local jurisdictions. Despite making up the majority of the population, the disempowerment fueled a broader sense of frustration, especially after many years of unfulfilled promises from the traditional political parties. In 1964, during the first and only national meeting of the Mexican American Youth Organization, Chicano activists gathered to discuss the challenges facing the community. Among the key points discussed was the necessity of a third political party, one that was fully committed to the Mexican American community and its needs. The idea was entirely proposed by Jose Angel Gutierrez, who had founded Mayo, and it quickly gained traction within the activist community. What began as a conversation about political independence eventually gave birth to La Raza Unida Party. On January 17, 1970, La Raza Unida was officially established with the goal of providing Mexican Americans with a political platform that could address their unique struggles. The party aimed to break free from the two major political parties that have failed to represent Mexican American interests for so long. Instead of working with a system that had excluded them, La Raza Unida focused on building independent political power, starting in the rural areas of South Texas. The success of La Raza Unida, however, was not simply about winning elections. It was about creating a movement that brought Mexican Americans together to reclaim their voice in the political process. At a time when many Mexican Americans were marginalized and disenfranchised, La Raza Unida sought to foster a sense of pride, unity, and self-determination. Through its grassroots organizing, the party fueled candidates in small towns like Gutela and Carrizito Springs, where they managed to secure a total of 15 seats, including 2 city council majorities, 2 school board majorities, and 2 mayoralties. These victories were significant not just because they were representing political power, but because they were a symbol of the larger shift that was occurring with Mexican American community. However, the journey of La Raza Unida was not without internal challenges. In 1971, during a state convention in San Antonio, delegates voted to expand the party focus beyond local elections and organize at the state level. This move sparked a disagreement between Gutierrez, who believed the party's strength lay in rural areas, and others who saw the need to expand to a larger stage. The party's decision to grow beyond its grassroots base would set the stage for its eventual decline as external pressures and internal decisions began to take their toll. Despite the party's eventual fading from the political scenes in the 1980s, its legacy remains powerful. La Raza Unida ignited a political consciousness within the Mexican-American community that has lasted to this day. It demonstrated the power of grassroots organizing and set the stage for future American political leaders who would go on to secure key positions in local, state, and national government. While La Raza Unida may no longer exist as a formal political entity, its influence endures. This party's victory served as a template for future Chicano political activism, and it inspires lives on the ongoing efforts for better representation, rights, and justice for Americans across the country. The story of La Raza Unida is one of the resilience, empowerment, and the relentless pursuit of justice. A story that continues to inspire those who believe that political independence is the key to social change.
La Raza Unida was more than just a political party. It was a critical chapter in the border fight for civil rights and social justice for Mexican Americans. Its legacy proves that when communities come together for a fight in the right, they can change the political landscape and inspire future generations to continue the fight. The struggles and triumphs of the La Raza Unida and serve as a reminder that political power is not a gift. It is something that must be fought for and claimed. Through their journey, La Raza Unida showed their world the importance of political representation, community activism, and the undeniable strength of the Mexican American people.